6 p.m. on May 20th. We are in the town of Scriba, New York. Scriba, New York. Apparently, at their last meeting, a man was removed for recording from his chair on his phone. So obviously, that's sending out the bat signal to us that we have to come and see how that works. So here we are in this town, and let's get going.
Joe, I fixed it. You put it in? Gotta put Brent up.
So we go in the chair. Chair with a shot.
Sorry.
And there was one. She says he's got it. Yeah, it's very, very.
What's that?
And he, it's like, right. I don't know. Yeah. It's just, so I put 2 sticks in there. One of you know, 2 green sticks. You can probably see, but awesome. You know, of that, maybe she had me in place. Like, decided. Right.
It's messy right here.
Other side of the sun, so I
think this might be even better. I'm gonna get that cute lawyer. He's almost too. His little high top cut. Look at him. Got a haircut. What?
So.
Turns her. She moved her name tag like we didn't get it already.
Nothing that crazy.
You already said he's an ass.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you. Was difficult too. It's not 17. What's really difficult is when there's have a camera like this. And there's people behind you. That's.
They can't even move because they're afraid.
Yeah, I did. Take one shots out. Oh, take one in like
Yeah.
They went to.
Very good.
Yeah.
You want me to do it? Go ahead.
Just in case that somebody wasn't here when I said it, the board decided to have people sign in that wanted to speak. So if you think you want to speak, come and sign up, please. Thank you.
All right, by 6 o'clock here, we can start. I would like to call the May 20th, 2026 Scriba Town Board meeting to order. Can we all stand for the pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Thank you. Becky, could you please have a roll call of town board member?
Supervisor Legault. Counselor Pastel,
Here,
Counselor Michael, here, Counselor Battles, here, Counselor Wicks, here.
okay, minutes from the previous meeting, has everybody got a copy and had a chance to read them? And I have a motion to accept them, please.
I'll second.
Peggy and James. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Reports, correspondence, and announcement. My first announcement, I have to say, no, some of you might not. Unfortunately, Supervisor Legault has resigned from her post as supervisor due to some ongoing medical issues. For the remainder of the year, if the board chooses, which I think they already have, I will be acting town supervisor and running the meetings. I've been on the board for 8.5 years, so I know the day-to-day operations of the town. So make sure that, number one, employees get paid, our vendors get paid, and the town runs smoothly, so. Okay, reports, everybody has their report from the clerk, justice, building and grounds, dog warden, historian, supervisor, and planning board. Correspondence, I have no correspondence. Becky, do you have any from the clerk's office?
I do not.
Okay. We will move right into resolutions and motions. Resolution number 1, resolution authorizing the water department to report the necessary EDU changes for the year to Oswego County real property. Can I have a motion? Jamie, second. Sharice, any discussion? If anybody would like to see the list of EDU changes, there's not a lot of them, but I do have a copy, or if anybody wants a copy, you're welcome to. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Resolution number 2, resolution to correct the previously approved abstract 4 amount of $310,000, $310,005.71 to our correct amount of $309,870.90 due to a legal ad that was placed and paid for by the town attorney with the Palladium Times, and the same legal ad was paid for by the town under voucher number 105. So basically, we paid a bill twice. So we changed the amount to $309,870.90 for April. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Sharif? Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, resolution number 3. Resolution terminating participation in the Ready Grant Program for the Joe Foltz Boulevard project. Can I get a motion on that before the discussion? Amy? Second? Peg? Kevin, could you speak to this real quick, please?
Yeah, for those who regularly attend our town board meetings, we have discussed this in the past. There's been periodic updates. The Joe Foltz Boulevard Ready project was a project that was instituted as a result of the 2017 and 2019 floods. The state of New York established the Ready grant and assistance program, which is for resiliency and economic development initiative. It was specifically for waterfront communities, primarily around Lake Ontario, that experienced significant flooding and water damage during those 2 flooding events. The the town of Scriba was awarded, roughly $680,000 to conduct both an engineering study and then for approximately $60,000 worth of engineering. And the balance of that money was to be used for construction of a resiliency project. Primarily, what everyone was thinking was some type of a flood mitigation. First, a break wall out in the water, but more as the engineering developed and the DEC and state officials weighed in, it became clear that they weren't going to allow that the jetty to be constructed. And so the focus was placed on creating a more permanent opening for the creek that is nearby. So effectively, what was happening is that the creek is full of cobblestones, and as a weather event came in across the lake with prevailing winds coming out of the northwest, it would push all of those cobbles into the creek bed and actually dam the creek opening. Then the wave action by the weather would fill the creek up and consequently flood the properties. The owners, there's essentially a homeowners group made up of the residents, seasonal and permanent residents of Joe Folds Boulevard, who have for years now regularly maintained that through dredging the creek bed and creek opening. They've done so with the permission and permit of the DEC, and they hire a local contractor to dredge it as needed. Usually it's a couple times a year. We worked on this for the better part of 3-4 years to try to come up with a plan that would both be feasible for the owners and cost effective. The biggest challenge is that any of the options that were being proposed and promoted and likely approved by the required the town to expend in excess of $1 million. And we couldn't use general town funds to do that. It would have to be a cost passed on to the residents of Joe Folds Boulevard. There are only 50 or so residents down there, and the cost is just prohibitive. You can't ask those residents to shoulder $1 million worth of debt for this project. And the town, we looked at every possible way to resist in favor of making this happen, and just could not come up with a viable plan. So the plan that is currently in place, that is the regular routine maintenance through the guidance of the DEC with a permit, and the local contractor will continue. The town did expend in excess of the $60,000 on engineering studies. That is a general town charge, so there is an amount of money that we reimbursed by Ready, but we will be reimbursed the $60,000 that we spent by the Ready Commission. So that, I know that was a little bit more than a short synopsis, but I wanted to give as much information as possible so that you can make an informed decision. But I think we've all generally come to the conclusion that despite our best efforts, it just is not a feasible project to advance.
I agree. Anybody else? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, resolution number 4, resolution authorizing Highway Superintendent Michael Berry to purchase from Stevenson Equipment Incorporated a new Massey Ferguson tractor mower package in the amount of $129,800 to replace the 2008 Challenger, with the funds to come from the Highway 2026 budget. Can I get a motion? Jamie, can I get a second? Sherry. I do know there is money in the budget for this. Mike, is Mike here?
Yeah,
Is there any resale value on the old one?
it's got like 9,000 hours on it. I don't imagine it's worth much money at all.
Okay,
Typically around 8,500 miles or hours. They claim that the main pump, hydraulic pump and everything goes bad on them.
okay. And how long will it take?
Much.
How long will it take to get the new one? Will you have it this year or was it?
I'd be like 16 weeks out, so we could hopefully have it for fall.
Okay. Good deal. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, resolution number 5, resolution accepting the resignation of Dan Kehoe as acting chairman of the, or as chairman of the planning board, with continuance as a member of the planning board effective June 1st, 2026. Basically, Dan is moving from chairman to just a board member. I have a motion,
Oh, my God.
Amy? Okay, any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Thank-
Yes,
Accurate.
I
yes,
spoke to him,
yes.
yesterday.
Okay.
I made sure before,
Nothing. All right.
I double checked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect. Yep, I'm glad.
Resolution number 6, resolution appointing James Dement, the chairman of the planning board, from vice chairman with a term from June 1st until December 31st, 2026. Can I get a motion? Amy, second? Sharice? And that is accurate, right? Any-
I guess.
Thank you for,
Yes, I didn't.
I was talking about you. Thank you for stepping up. And thank Dan for his years of service as chairman. He's a very good chairman. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Resolution number 7, a resolution appointing Melissa Parkhurst to vice chairman of the planning board with a term from June 1st, 2026 until December 31st, 2026. Can I have a motion? Amy? Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Resolution number 8, a resolution to establish the standard work days for the elected and appointed officials who began new terms and to report the days worked to the New York State and local employees retirement system based on the record of activities maintained and submitted by the officials to the clerk of this body. The established work days can be found in Form RS 2417-A, which will also be posted for at least 30 days and will be made available to the public on the town's website and on the main entrance bullet board. Can I have a motion? Okay, can I have a second? Any discussion?
Which one did you choose? Yeah.
Sharice, she
Okay.
said it first, sorry,
Okay.
Sharice.
Because we both kind of said it, yeah.
We do this every year, right? Elected officials who are in their retirement. This is just a standard. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Resolution resolution number 9, authorizing senior building maintenance technician Kurt Vant to purchase 3 flagpole sets and 3 solar lights through Amazon. Best price for the quality of the poles and lighting that the town requires in the amount of $1,219.75. Could I have a motion?
I'll move the motion.
Sharice? Amy, any discussion? Is Lori?
Yeah.
Can you give us a brief overview?
Sure. So and
Please.
for the America 250, we're celebrating our 250th anniversary, as most of you know. And so as part of that, last year I had to submit some estimates and we did, Kurt and I did some work and I mean, just everything that came together, sort of assessing flagpoles could be or should be and are not, where lighting must and is not. And so we came up to comply with our purchase agreements and protocol here for town anyway.
Procurement policy.
Thank you, procurement policy, under over $500, we need board approval, even though this money was approved last year's budget, all that work was done. We now have, I think we're in really good shape, thanks to Kurt. for where we're gonna put these poles. And so at least two of them, one is gonna go to North Scriba Union Cemetery finally. There is going to be a flagpole in that cemetery, by God. And then, I think, let's see, a flag at the park, at the Scriba Town Park, and a flagpole, if we can fit it in somewhere, at Hillside Cemetery as well. So these, I'm very excited about this. And again, the protocol is from the government, if you have a light on your flag, these guys don't have to work to take it down. Everything are, requested to be at half mast, et cetera, et cetera. So isn't gonna give them a whole lot more work because of the additional flags and poles. So I'm just really excited about it because we have some, you know, we have a lot to be proud of here. And I think this sort of magnifies it and makes it right, and especially in part of our 250th anniversary. Just quickly, the landscaping project that was approved last year for the America 250 in the budget, we hit some snags, and that was going to be some landscaping done in Veterans Park, Memorial Park. Very excited about it. We worked very hard on this. We've hit some snags because New York State has some additional requirements of who we hire to do our projects. And so that is sort of in a holding pattern right now. However, the monuments, we're approved for a few more monuments for World War II veterans. Worked really hard on getting as many World War II veterans as I could find from our town. Their names will be inscribed on monumental rocks here at Veterans Park. The idea was hopefully to get them done by the end of this year, perhaps by Veterans Day. We just don't know, but that is still going forward. So that's the report for America at 250. Wait, one more thing if I could. I really don't plan these things, but
I tell you, I was gonna ask you.
so America 250, we had an art exhibition from Riley Elementary School here. It went so well. I just, you know, it's just was so moving. These kids, these teachers, parents were so proud. And you know, some of the kids really didn't realize they live in the town of Scriba, honestly, because their mailing address, et cetera, which I'm still working on. So, but it was so greatly received that we decided to move the show to the county fair. So we're gonna take this exhibit to the county fair as part of what, from the town of Scriba. So I'm just really thrilled that at all that's going on, creating some, and generating some community love, if you will, and unity, and, reasons to be proud of where we live. So,
Thank you. Okay, can I have a motion for that? Oh, we already got a motion. All in favor? Aye. Sorry. She was so moving, I just got lost.
carried away.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay. Resolution number 10, resolution introducing proposed local law number 1 of 2026. Regulating campgrounds in the town of Scriba and establishing a public hearing on June 17th, 2026 PM. Can I get a motion for that? Peg, can I get a second? Jamie? Now, this isn't a motion passing the law, this is a motion introducing the law, and it'll be available on our website and in the clerk's office tomorrow. We're gonna hold a public hearing, so if anybody has any concerns about this law, they can go get a copy of it and read it and come back and answer all your questions at our next meeting at the public hearing next month. So give you a month to go over it. Okay, any other discussion from the board? Kevin?
Well, I would just say that this is an effort, joint effort between the town board and the planning board. The planning board took several months. There was a moratorium that was adopted last. The planning board worked diligently on putting this together. Looking at other municipalities in New York State for some guidance, looking at the New York State regulations, who's the primary regulator of campgrounds through the state code, and came up with this particular addresses the specific, it's a specific application of the town of Scriba. What this law does not do is regulate the individual residential property owner that wants to host their family or friends for a weekend or longer law. This is to regulate the commercial operation of a campground in the town of Scriba. So I do encourage you to read it, get a copy of it, to go through it. Make any comments or edits that you wish to make. An opportunity to present those at the planning board. If you have lots of edits, after the planning board or the town board holds the public hearing, there are no substantial changes to the law as written. It is likely to be placed up for a vote, perhaps as early as at the conclusion of that public hearing next month. But if there are significant need to be made, then the town board would have to make those changes, and even likely hold another public hearing before the local law. So you all know that's the process, the procedure. We welcome the comments and the input, and we'll see you back here next month for the public hearing.
Sounds good. Anything else?
I have a question.
Sure.
So it was developed by the planning board, correct?
Yes. Yeah, developed by the planning board. The town board is the only legal authority under New York State town law that can adopt a local law. But oftentimes, particularly when you're dealing with issues of land use control, town boards will defer to a planning board or some type of a committee to put together a local law and then present it back to the town board. You ultimately, as the town board, have the authority to vote yes or no on the law. And to make changes. It's your local law.
Okay. All in favor of establishing a public hearing for June 17th, 2026? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 11, this says discussion to consider establishing local law. Would it be number 2 of 2026?
Yeah, so that's a good point. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, can we have a motion pertaining to property cleanup? Amy, can I have a second? Peg? Okay, Kevin?
Yeah,
please.
so this would, the first local law for campgrounds is the first local law. So for introductory purposes, it's known as local law 1. This next local law is local law number 2 for introductory purposes, which actually amends a prior local law from 2015 that regulate the control and spread and growth of grass, weeds, and brush. The proposal is to amend that local law to add of junk and debris in the town of Scriba. And so the existing local law that's been on the books now for nearly 11 years dealt with the overgrowth of grass and weeds and brush, and provided for the enforcement of that through the code enforcement office. It provided the additional ability and authority for the code enforcement office to send out a notice to property owners if they hadn't cleaned up their property or cut their lawns, that after a 10-day notice period, if it still was not addressed, that the town could go onto the property and charge the cost of that mowing to the resident, which would then become a lien on their property and collected through real property taxes at the beginning of the next year. That on the books for 11 years. What this amendment is doing is just adding junk and debris, which are defined and are essentially taken from the town's existing junkyard regulations. So that's subject to a public hearing. If you want to have 2 public hearings next month, we would introduce it tonight and establish the public hearing. I'd suggest for notice purposes, if the first one was at 6 o'clock, we make this one 6:05. It just, you hold one right after another.
Okay.
And even if
Are you going to, you're gonna do the same thing like you did with the grass and cleans it up?
yeah, that procedure remains in place. We're just adding junk and debris. This is being introduced tonight, but junk and debris is defined as 2 or more junk vehicles, 1 or more abandoned mobile homes, one or more abandoned recreational vehicles, one or more inoperable or unseaworthy boats, waste, paper, rags, scrap metal, or discarded materials, two or more inoperable major appliances, any combination of the above that totals 4 items.
What about previously burnt down? Yeah. Buildings and then. Like a house, so. Days. I'm just saying for Sue, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody had to say it.
I think,
add to it.
I mean, that's already in the law, the New York State Building and Maintenance, Property Maintenance Code, of which the town has the local authority to enforce. So,
Okay.
All right, this isn't included in the other law that you were talking about. The junkyard and regulations, that's a separate, that's regarding junkyard.
correct. Yeah, and it doesn't, that law was adopted, that was one of the first laws adopted, I think it was around 1990, 89, 90. And it didn't have that provision for the town authorized to enter the property, remove the junk and debris, and then charge it against the property owner. So this law kind of tightens that up and makes it very clear that the town is authorized to do
So
so.
the eyesores will clean that.
This
And
is a
again-
vehicle to do that. It still comes down to enforcement.
So June 17th, we're gonna have a public hearing.
Yes, and again, this will be available in the clerk's office, and on our website. If anybody wants to print on a copy and read it before next month's public hearing. I guess I'll get in that, if anybody else have any other questions on it, so, all in favor, Aye. opposed? Motion passes. Okay, motion to pay the bills as presented for abstract number 5 in the amount of $764,494.96. Could I have a motion?
Oh my God, Michelle.
Sharif, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Amy? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Open meeting, all speakers will be giving a maximum of 5-minute allowance. I wanted to start out, I have 2 things. I forgot in the announcements, Scriba's having their annual cleanup day on June 13th. We're gonna have 2 big roll-off dumpsters out there. If you have any junk and debris you want to get rid of, from 8 to 12. Feel free to bring it by and throw it in. We will not be accepting tires, mattresses, hazardous chemicals, or
Electronics and computers.
electronics, correct, electronics. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that between now and June 13th, just give me a call. I'd also like to just bring up, we had a few questions, and I've seen it out on social media regarding insurance on one of our town-owned vehicles. I just wanted to clear the air. We did have an accident. Thank God nobody was hurt. After the accident, we realized that we had never, through some lack of communication, we have never let our agent know that this vehicle was in our possession. So we all got worried, making sure that, we didn't do anything wrong. So we started asking questions, and thanks to Kevin, Kevin got a hold of, Thomas Anthus, who is the president of our insurance agency, Eastern Shore. And I'm gonna read you what he wrote to us, so hopefully this can be put to bed here. The vehicle in question did have both liability and physical damage coverage at the time of the loss. This was afforded by way of symbol 1 coverage, which we have, on the auto liability policy and the extension endorsement, which is also called automatic acquisition, which means as soon as we acquire a vehicle, it's automatically under our policy. Right then and there. On the Liberty Mutual policy for physical damage. What hadn't happened yet was notification to our agency to add the vehicle to the respective schedules. He said this would be a best practice to do that, for the benefit of the symbol 1 of the Nymer auto, is that the liability coverage is extended to any and all autos, and the extension endorsement on the Liberty Mutual provides physical damage on vehicles acquired during the policy term and audited for accuracy and rating after the policy term, which means that they go back and make sure that we let them know about all our vehicles. They were insured at the time, we just had to pay the premium on that. We had a little lack of communication. So I spoke with Jen Corey, who is the clerk to the highway department. Asked her if she would take charge of calling the insurance agency every time the highway department gets a new vehicle. And hopefully that will solve all our issues. Again, it was a miscommunication. The vehicle, when it was owned by the town.
Joe, I think there's one final point to that, and maybe you're gonna make it, the last sentence, which, concludes that there is no financial loss to the town, and the claim was handled by Travelers, the at-fault driver's insurance company. So, important to note that the town, was not at fault in this accident, and that the individual who was at fault had insurance through Travelers, and, any damage or claim is being handled through Travelers.
Thank you. Okay, who do we have on our list?
The first one is Dan from Erie County.
That's me.
Hi, Dan.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Yep, it's on.
I seen a cord up there. All right, so my name's Dan, Erie County. My residency is Erie County. And I was brought down here by a video I seen of the town removing somebody for video recording with their cell phone at their chest. Because they had some type of rule down here that recorded or press can only record from the back of the room, which I'd like to come down here and challenge personally, make sure that that practice was over, which I'm assuming it is, because nobody said anything about me recording in the front row. I just like to remind everybody on this board, all these elected officials, that not only are you elected officials, you swore an oath to the United States Constitution. The United States Constitution grants everybody in this room the freedom of the press. So chairs out here, you can't stop somebody from recording unless their equipment is obstructing people behind them, which in that video, I didn't see that happen. The other thing is, there's a lot of stuff going down here in this town that is unethical and off the books and illegal. Like, for instance, by New York State law, all these resolutions, everything is supposed to be talked to is supposed to be posted on the internet, but it's not. We have no idea what any of you guys are talking about. I see a lot more illegal activity just in this meeting alone. There's a point where you guys are voting on something or like that without making the proper resolutions and stuff. But like, at the same time, your attorney here seemed to run the show in the last meeting that I seen when he would remove somebody. You would think he'd know the laws better if he's gonna, act that way. The attorney talking about talking about changing laws and stuff on there that you need to take care of. And I'm proud to see that you guys ain't trying to remove somebody for recording with their, whether it's a cell phone or whatnot. As long as they're not obstructing, everybody in this room has the freedom of the press, and everybody can record from their seat in there. And if anybody here would like to challenge that, that's what I came here today to do. So
Thank you.
I expect to see you guys honoring your oath from now on and getting involved with the law. Oh boy.
Well, okay, I guess no one else but me. So how does this vehicle get registered? This vehicle that was involved in the accident, how would it get registered? Don't you have to be registered before you can get insurance?
I would assume it was done by the dealer before we picked it up. The dealer found. Well, I guess. I've
Well,
never had to do that for a town vehicle.
Yeah.
So
I guess, how do we, well, no, I have so many questions now in my head. Had we been, there was injured, it still would have been, covered, is now what I'm understanding,
we had
correct?
property and liability.
Okay, so did we have a previous policy on how this situation, I mean, is notified and we have registration, right?
Yeah.
What, do we have a policy pre?
We did.
I don't know.
What was that, Mike? Buildings and grounds have always handled the insurances on the vehicles.
And you didn't get it this time around? Is that what happened?
Well, I would like to know why you did the 2022 Dodge pickup. You
I probably had to be there for some particular reason, so I just took care of it.
Okay.
It's that whole fault.
Okay, well, if it is the buildings and grounds didn't know that you took, possession of the vehicle, so I don't know how he could have called
He
Dave.
goes to meetings, does he not?
No.
They knew that we purchased the vehicle.
We didn't know you purchased the vehicle. We got called by the dealer 2 months later saying, where's our, payment on this? And we didn't even know you picked it up, Mike, so
I didn't
I
pick it
didn't
up.
wanna
They
go
dropped
there,
it
but
off here.
I'm sorry.
I would just like to say too, Mike, that I talked with Roger Myers, who was a highway supervisor. And he told me he registered every piece of equipment the entire time he was here. He stood in line at the DMV.
I have
He
registered
never,
as well.
he never registered. And it wasn't just one vehicle, it was two vehicles that you put
So
insurance
we have a policy now and we'll move forward from that. I don't see any
right.
reason why we need to rehash it. Thankfully, you weren't hurt. Happy about that, and we'll move on.
Answer Heidi's question.
I'm not looking to slight anybody, I'm looking to make sure it doesn't.
That it was brought to me for years. All the insurance cards across the road brought to me. I had to put on.
Brown Farm brings them over.
The registrations were mailed. We got a 2009 or 10 truck out there. Probably they ain't been insured then, cause I just signed the paperwork on it when it come in then. That was it.
Well, again,
No registration, insurance cards come across the road, so.
they need to know out,
Finger point.
know it across the street that these vehicles have been picked up, so. We have a policy now. Let's just move on from that.
That's what I want, but I know, yeah, and we have a rule, let's enforce this, that's, you know.
Two questions. Was there a written policy prior to tonight? And will there be a written policy moving forward that can be referenced? Because you mentioned there was a point of miscommunication. Miscommunication happens when something is not placed in writing for people to abide by and to follow. So will this be put in writing moving forward?
Yeah.
Where will people be able to access it? And be held accountable for that miscommunication that happened prior?
Is that going to the policy?
It'll go in policy in the.
These that Kelly gave you, do you recall if it's in there?
I don't believe that under the policies adopted,
No, the new policies that she gave you.
yeah, I mean, those were, I believe they were adopted or revised within the last year or two. I don't believe, I'd have to take a look. I don't recall that there was a vehicle insurance reporting policy or something of that nature, but we can very easily do that.
Which plate was the, vehicle was the plate, issue to? There was a plate on the vehicle, there was an.
This isn't a free for all. If you wanted to talk, you needed to sign up. Sorry.
Can we still sign up?
Sure.
Sure.
Going to the side, not here. That's why Sue wasn't here.
Sue wasn't here.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. So I followed it.
I just want to bring up something about Skyline Drive, which it did get cleaned up. The yard did get cleaned up by the third day before the end of the month, so they did do it finally. The house is still burned up and open and whatever, but someone's dumping tires across the road on the circle, which no one owns, the county property. It's up for sale for county property, and there's tires down there. So that's a problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
Wait, Julie, did you have more to ask her?
Yes.
Okay.
Rumors are something that I do not stand for. We like to go by facts. We all do. I do believe. Social media has a great platform for behind the scenes. You made mention like, let's forget the past. Let's not blame fault. But you did make mention that it was a point of communication for the vehicle. It was a very big event that could have occurred, a big loss that could have occurred for a financial situation of our town. How can we find out where the miscommunication?
I don't know what to tell you. I expect department heads, elected officials to do their job and to go through the process, and they didn't do it, so.
That's what I'm wondering, who is that person? And
Kelly, was that?
Sure, here.
I came in a few minutes late.
She resigned due to health reasons.
Thank you, but I still.
Bottom line is this truck was insured for liability and damage. That's all I was bringing up. We have a policy now that the clerk of the highway department will be taking care of all the highway vehicles. And that buildings and grounds will be taking care of all the buildings and grounds vehicles. Whether there's a policy before, I don't know. I never saw it. I don't know. I'm just, to be honest with you.
So we have a solution.
So I made one
Moving
of my first
Yeah.
actual duties as temporary acting town supervisor, as a matter of fact, so.
And it's a very good solution. I totally agree with that. I just believe in that the solutions be written down in the place
I agree,
to be accessed. That's all.
I agree, and we've solved this. And we're moving on, I don't feel it necessary to start pointing fingers as to whose fault it was. That's not gonna get anybody any,
And besides, it's personnel matters, so.
right, so.
Yep.
I wanted to address that,
Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else?
Penny?
I just wanted to ask, Joe, you had just mentioned that, highway's gonna be responsible for their insurance, Bill Brown's gonna be responsible for their. I just was asking, Joe had stated that the highway department's gonna be responsible for their vehicles, insurance, buildings and grounds is gonna be responsible for theirs, who's responsible for the water department?
Kurt will be responsible for any vehicle over across the street. Yeah, building.
This one, right?
Okay, anybody else?
That hand raised.
Julie,
Okay,
Julie's asking if that's gonna be in writing, that
it will be.
he's gonna be responsible for each department.
Yes. Did you sign up or did somebody? Silly.
No, I did.
Kevin
Yeah.
signed it.
Please.
I didn't see, I didn't sign it. I didn't either. Oh, God. You signed it.
You got a haircut.
Good evening. Welcome to Oswego County. It saddens me to stand before. It's the first time I've done this, in the many years I've represented the town of Scriba. I'm so very proud to represent the town of Scriba. And I believe I've served the town well. The events of this past year compelled me to speak tonight. And more directly, the events of the last week, public to what transpired after a planning board meeting last week. That I can consider a direct threat to the officials and the employees of this town that are all, as I know them, well-intended, hardworking, and dedicated to this town. And Thursday morning, by an unfortunate receipt of a very disturbing set of photos that were left in the hallway after the meeting, that a town employee recovered and was immediately unnerved by. These are the photos. This was brought into the town Wednesday night by an individual who will be named. And I'm remiss that he's not here tonight because he should be. When I was alerted to this, I was sent town employees and they investigating. It didn't take long. All way in the building was to detect the individual, the culprit who brought this trash, this threat into our town and into our hall. Did that. Fred Fanning brought this in. Not only did he bring it in, but he knew what he was doing. When he handed it to somebody and said, you know what this means? Was a practice that originated back in the Middle Ages to punish and humiliate individuals. Punish and humiliate. It was a practice that was utilized during the Revolutionary War period by colonists that wanted to punish and humiliate the British and the king's subjects, and the loyalists to the kings. Continued on into the 19th century and into the 20th century, unfortunately. Gesture that was made by an individual who I dare say is unhinged. And it has to stop, people. We can have discords and disagreements. We can agree to disagree. We can welcome our friends and we can have our opinions. We're entitled to those opinions. We're not always entitled to our own facts, though, are we? And so I just want to publicly call out this and hope it doesn't continue. I hope it doesn't escalate from here. I hope we can move forward with a new beginning, because if it continues like this, I'm concerned that whatever sign we have up here restricting someone's freedoms or rights won't help us when it's not a photo this time, but it's something more to do harm and permanent harm to somebody. Let's stop this now.
What about the apology for violating somebody's rights? Pausing them. And causing these things.
I could take back some of my time a little bit, if I didn't use all my minutes.
Oh. Yes. Thank
Does,
for asking.
does the city and or some other municipalities, do they not have a separate area for videotaping, videographing?
Every community is different. The
It's
city
not
of Oswego has built-in cameras. They live stream their meetings. Some communities do that.
So it is okay to designate areas, what you're saying?
It is it's perfectly acceptable to designate areas. Committee on Open Government has stated that, issued opinions to that effect. The key element is that the recording should not be disruptive to the meetings, and but designated in particular areas is perfectly acceptable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have more questions, I'll call you.
I got two phones.
I know.
Okay, can I have a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussions in accordance with DNF regarding proposed, pending, or current litigation and discussions leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person. Can I have a motion? Amy, can I have a second? Sharice, all in favor? Going into executive session, we may or may not be making any resolutions when we come out. Feel free to stick around. Otherwise, have a good night. So is there any responsibility? You'll take the names on something? I'm not saying what the person not here is right or wrong. I'm saying we don't take all your responsibility. You won't take any responsibility for promoting the people.
I've been to see this times, yeah, but this one I haven't, because I've been. You're an idiot. I agree.
I don't think they like them. That's kind of disgusting. They wouldn't take any responsibility for throwing somebody out, then they want to complain that somebody reached us the grievances.
I mean, it's stupid to do it, but it's, you know what I'm saying?
I would like.
Here's my guy, right?
We're gonna get in here.
Don't lock your ear up.
Like, it's stupid to leave it. Yeah, like, it's stupid, because this is what they're gonna do, they're gonna use it as like,
I definitely don't post any pictures of Tari feathering on the Facebook. Do not
like,
post any pictures of Tari
You know,
feathering on the Facebook, guys. You would upset them greatly. Do not do that.
I agree. You know, everybody's not. But it's fine. It came out and I just got that down to the jumps off. Yeah, yeah. I found. You know, yeah, I can guess out.
Need those pictures. That was pretty good. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Do not, and I mean, do not post any pictures of Tara feathering on their Facebook. It's really upset. Like, do not do that. I know hard paper or anything, or you just send them?
It's like a thing.
Why? Everything.
Yeah, I saw it.
We're here at the Taylor as well.
Those aren't my things.
Not mine, but they're quite boring sometimes, so sometimes we gotta come back and lay down here. Like this guy, complaining. People. See, like, do you think you're gonna sing about? We're going like listening to last. Just just then on top of it, it's like this attorney.
Yes.
I'm from I don't like we just get on the person that. That's what I'm sick of me. I was like 30 times.
Right here.
Of course, the legal supplies here. I'm here to get around. Oh, I think it might be different. It's 3 months. Anything else, the right to serve the seat, you know. Everybody has the freedom of the house. Like giving them permission to speak.
It's 30 days to get out. So they get 3 days.
It's just Scriba, guys. We're waiting for them to come back from the meeting, but also properly, they could not violate any more laws. We did report quite a few violations, we're gonna add it up in a full length video. The attorney, I can't believe. They're white knighting for the employees of something he did,
But he just threw him under the bus with the insurance thing.
right? I know. Can not invest. He won't take any responsibility, makes me want to send it to like. Picture of a guillotine. Trial. They're really good. Those are-
Yes.
Right.
Before I came out.
Yes.
It's pretty solid. I'm saying that. Person who's that. Is right or wrong because it's illegal. Must be in some other place. This is what goes on. I said something to say, take it. Yeah.
I think so.
It's pretty constant, it's starting to order, that's no responsibility. Throw a ball like that. Dude's a weed fan.
Because.
That's the problem. He's a weed activist. That's the problem. If you're a good attorney, they're really quite. After it's all said and about it, like, the fact that he took no responsibility means I'm gonna say that. If you're a good attorney, you're in the private sector representing. Clients. They did in the beginning, they said they're gonna allow us in the front row. So, graced us with his allowance. That guys, they let us have our rights today. Yeah, he allowed it. They allowed us to have our rights. So the supervisor retired, so the supervisor number you have there is, retired, a resigned person, she resigned after the last meeting. They said health issues, but I hope it has nothing to do with the fact that, they kicked somebody out, it's just very tar and feather, and I hope that's not it. Afraid of,
I was primary. I was.
it's all, because the primaries, when is, well, this is a town, right? Okay, so then there is no primary then. Yep. Is this a Republican town? Pretty much. So you're the favorite.
Doesn't look too city like.
Yeah.
How long you been the town clerk? Elected or appointed? Like, good for you.
I gotta fill time, we're waiting, but here's my food balance. The whole insurance issue, people are humans, things happen, right? But it should go both ways, this dude's reporting, and you act like animals to get him kicked out of the meeting. It just shows that you want grace when you make a mistake, but when someone's trying to exist and do their own thing, lose your shit. And that's the thing, it's like, it's rules for thee, not for me, and it's.
Stop, man.
Great job. Great job. Very well. I guess again, neither. I got a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. It's 177,000 subscribers. They put the bad signal up here for me to film. When I see the video that's throwing somebody out. Oh yeah. Living in Green County. I flew to Uvalde and asked the city council. I said, "What do you guys need? You need a Yankee like me from New York to come down here and teach your office how to be men? Like, how you gonna say why it's not these people fired right now?" I think it's so boring if this attorney went up and spoke like that. And they won't take any response for provoking this. I was gonna say that on that. Has he read the second amendment? So do you understand what the second amendment is?
Well, the irony, what I found ironic is he's talking about this in front of a flag celebrating the Revolutionary War. He's gonna hate to know what they did in 1776. You know, he's gonna be in for a shock when they celebrate that 250th anniversary of our country.
So.
They didn't have printers back then, but
I don't think you go to say.
There's a whole I felt it.
I'm live, so you're talking and this 500 people at home wonder who's talking.
Oh.
This.
Oh, it's talking about changing it. Yes.
The only one who spoke up and said that wasn't right.
yes.
I'm actually only waiting here to shake her hand and appreciate her.
Whatever.
Who's gonna take the responsibility? If Joe Schmo off the street would go to their court, the court that they collect revenue from, we're gonna know that public record. We gotta know who that is. There's no reason they shouldn't. Throwing somebody under the bus is protecting somebody. That's not right. They should be able to get that.
It's like it was some function else, but it felt kind.
Like all the public meetings, all the resolutions are supposed to be voting on, it's supposed to be on the internet. See those before you get here, they're not.
So when I go to a bear meeting, what are on the agenda before minutes, and there is still amount of time I wasted. You know, obviously. So, yeah. I got a little.
Oh, my regular says, like, city man. It's actually harassed and it's all, I don't wanna say assault, because I don't know if it's fucking, but it's actually.
I gotta stand.
harassing to the point where like. It's federal law. Static for me. We went there exposing all, forced them, their meetings to actually run by them and stuff like that. And then. Luckily, the city manager actually resigned. Retired, he retired. How powerful you can be as a city manager to be able to fully and fire the chief of police.
I was supposed to say conflict of interest for our attorney to be. Areas.
So there's mud in the water, there's too many.
I'll bet you. If I am elected, I'm gonna get my hands in gloves. Find out.
Going across the state is municipalities across all the interstates and pull all the credit cards while they're. See what they're saying. And then on top of it, you can compare like one municipality that gives you a fancy for money. And there's another municipality that gives you not only all their credit cards, there's like photocopies of the actual card, white out the card that you're not supposed to see. It's gonna be everything that these other all these other places they play games. Like so it's easy to put them against each other.
So go ahead and thank Julie. There's Julie there, for the super chat. I see one from Julie. We go. Got one from Julie. Got one from. For $10 super chat, Canadian, thank you very much. Yep. The $5 super chat from HBO Max,
Hey, thank you.
HBO. KAP 1984 for the $20 super chat for guess all of them. I didn't miss any.
I'm getting complaints that my signal isn't good.
Oh, the signal is horrible. People complaining about the signal. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but
You're in a building. You can't fix the signal, guys. I'm not gonna like build a cell phone tower inside the building with somehow miraculous to get you a better signal. So all you can complain about the signal.
if everyone watching donates $10,
You guys are still doing. If everybody watching right now donates $100, I'll put the cell phone tower in here for better service.
I got you. We'll probably need more money in 5 years.
We're just waiting for this attorney to come out and ask the board why they don't have no remorse of it. They don't want to take any responsibility for making the employees feel out of place by someone's threat. I'm not saying that threats of violence in any manner are appropriate, but there should be some type of
Wasn't a threat. It
responsibility.
was a photo. It's a little sunny. The employee.
One line, the attorney was walking into the building, I gave him a Rogue Nation.
But wait, birds have feathers.
Oh,
And we're on blacktop, just tar. And
I threatened him without even knowing.
he's gonna do another meeting. I thought we were gonna have a press conference. So I was like, "That's it, here we go. I'm gonna try to get copies of these photos for you guys.
With the green on the side, look through the window where they're in executive session. For chats at $45 and gas house. From prices are getting out of hand. Stop space. While we're sitting here waiting, why don't you guys all throw up where you're watching from in the chat?
Got here late, because I have an open house.
The comments I made.
But I just had like a screaming.
Oh, well, then you gotta go. back.
That was- We just pre-Ks.
That makes them mad.
It's mostly saying we're gonna keep jumping, right?
So now I have something to read.
Cause it's wireless, I get less than all.
You know,
We got Texas in the house, Australia, New York City. We got the Third Rock, Missouri in the house, Montana, Arizona. Let's go. Wigan, UK, all right, Wisconsin. Got another one from the UK, Minnesota, Connecticut. Is that the blog?
Flip this around. We're with
You say that
AC here.
somewhere in Ohio, as blog. do you pronounce it?
Ashtabula.
Ashtabula, Ohio, Washington State, North Carolina.
We're waiting for an
My
executive
mom's
session.
house. My mom's house. She uses Illinois, Maryland, Ohio. Washington, upstate New York, Rhode Island. What's going on? NASA headquarters in Huntsville, Alabama. In the house. Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana, Michigan in the house. You're wrong. Illinois. Peoria. Mellow.
They're in executive session. We're waiting with
Australia.
for them to come out of that session.
What do you got? 2 people?
Viral.
Going viral.
Last day of my life.
We're going viral on Dwayne's channel. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to Dwayne's channel, Act Now Media. He's streaming with a whopping 2 people right now. So make sure mods throw up Act Now Media
Yeah.
channel in the chat so everybody can subscribe. We got to get this guy making some money so we can get more action with him. All right, we got Nebraska and Texas in the house. Went to the what is it? The Oswego County Clerk's Office, and they're still trying to enforce we can't take pictures of their photo or their records.
Oh yeah, we went to visit Claudia Tenney's office.
Claudia,
That
Claudia's in trouble.
in the public building, there's a private office that we pay for. And Dan specifically said you can either stop recording or leave, and he hit the panic button on us.
Oh, yeah, panic. Hit the
So,
panic button over there.
Yeah, we got the panic button in Claudia Tenney's office. And yeah, we didn't get arrested or removed though. It was weird. It was almost like
Oh yeah, he's got 6 people in his chat now.
it's almost like their feelings don't matter.
Oh, Dan told me to come right there.
Yeah, we got the panic button hit on us.
Panic button today.
Fredonia. And
What I got to speak to a mayor about all his patrol cars and his police force inspected, and real cocky. Real. Did you guys know police cars don't have to follow any laws? Of course, who's going to enforce it on them?
someone subbed because of you. It's probably my only one. I don't think anyone's ever subbed because of Dan.
If you guys subscribe over there.
Smash that like is that what you say? Smash that like button.
Bash the like button, guys. Bash it. We got 503 likes and 365 of you here right now. You up there and
Hey, someone said how do we hold public officials accountable when police don't enforce the laws?
guys, do not hold them accountable by putting pictures of tar and feathering. They get very upset and
Kurt's,
crazy.
guys, photos. This was the worst thing to ever happen. Photo. It's left.
We Killdozer now.
I'm gonna play that over the Sarah McLaughlin SPCA.
Since the very best. I absolutely think it's
Think about how I caught him like a bird, and he was already upset about the tar and feather photo. Geez, Rogue Nation's gonna get me arrested for making threats.
Listen, whatever you
Making
do.
claw noises like a bird.
I was thinking about showing up with a ghillie suit made of tar and feathers. I would piss myself. If someone showed up to a public meeting in a suit of tar and feathers, I would pee myself. I would pee myself. That would be your picture's better than mine. Mine looks. Isn't it
You
bad?
probably didn't clean your screen.
No.
It's a little optic for it. You gotta clean it. Oh, you got shadows on it.
Miss Ralph N said Central PA, Williamsport killed their 4th of July event. We should have a 4th of July celebration in Williamsport. Just go let off our own fireworks.
I'm going on Scriba's Facebook to see if make sure nobody tar and feathered their Facebook.
Whatever you guys do,
No
never
internet.
leave a photo of it.
This is what we're dealing with, guys. Signal wise. Zip.
Yeah, let me see it.
phone?
to my people.
Oh, you want
I got, yeah, let them know. So if there's,
no internet
we're
connection?
dealing with some pretty bad service here. We're in a government building, is the corruption cruiser still running strong? It sure is. We actually wrote in it here.
What do you mean? What do you mean Virginia just banned AR-15s? Didn't the Supreme Court just rule that AR-15 is a protected rifle?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court just ruled that the AR-15 is a protected rifle, which would undo all those laws. I could be wrong. I got my AR-15
so someone
out
asked,
of legal in New York.
someone asked a question. He makes a good point. He goes, what do you do when cops don't enforce the laws of big public officials? And really, the most important thing you can do, which is best, is run them out, put them out of office. But you got to, it's hard because you got to generate a lot of awareness and get the community involved in understanding that, you got to vote these people out. If it's local, it's easier to do than if it's, congressional or higher.
I
but
mean, First Amendment law
really,
sometimes can run some of these people out of office too.
Yeah.
We've been known to.
we have gotten a couple people to resign.
We've been known
retire.
to like Collins people.
Yeah, the city manager of Elmira is retiring early now because of somebody released a complaint from a lawsuit about him, sexual harassment, toxic workplace. I think that public awareness is big. I think people, what Dan and a lot of his followers do with the public accountability is important because it lets them know that they're on watch, and it kind of repeals the shame factor. And when they realize they're not in power, they resign.
During the executive session, talking about possibly removing somebody eventually.
What should be criminal charges? He's asking about criminal charges. What do you do if elected officials are violating the law and the police are enforcing it? What do you do?
So if the police won't enforce it, the only thing you really can do is go to the DA's office directly and try to get them to file charges, or the state attorney general's office, neither of which you'll probably be successful. And
City manager in Elmira is
that's the situation.
City of Elmira, New York, by the
with,
way.
the town of Clarence, they fabricated a public record, a video record. They literally edited it and fabricated it and gave it to me. That's a felony. Nobody will even look at the felony charges. They sent me to the Committee on Open Government, who can write an advisory note. Write the supervisor a letter and say, bad, don't do that again.
Yeah.
That's the harshest they could be. There's actually quite, you guys,
Actually, yeah,
there's actually quite a few people here waiting for them to come back from executive session to close the meeting, which is usually unlikely because they'll generally go to
real fast. Is
these sticks around because they don't know.
New Hampshire's the live free or die state? Is the
Virginia was live free or die. It says really
No.
on their flag.
New Hampshire's live free or die? Someone asked a question I forgot because I got excited about New Hampshire.
On back to back. No, they are. Some are, but not every.
I think the service is slow again.
In addition.
Whatever, right? Allison, over here. Someone's got. But it was. Sorry, is it? Yeah.
Do you think they're reading us?
You don't get to go to executive session?
I think. I, and then.
The executive session. When we got the elected clerk to resign in Orchard Park, and he's like, I was like, Remy, what are you doing? He's like, I'm getting ready for executive session. I'm like, Remy, that started 45 minutes ago. What are you doing?
That was sad.
Yeah, I realized at that very moment that we're dealing with
The- Yeah, Remy was like, I came in ready to go and like rail him for it. And then after our interaction with him, when he was just like floating around and he's like, hey, thanks for coming. It's great to see you. He's like,
Every time how great it is to see you.
and I'm like, this dude is
Every
not,
time I seen you, but even the first time we met,
yeah,
you say it's everybody.
like there's some cognitive decline here. I told him, I said, there's a good chance that you wander off and you get lost in a closet for half the day. So money's missing.
Yeah, they have to come back by law to at least close the meeting. But it sounds like they got some executive session they're taking care of, then they're gonna have to come out here and get the clerk to go in for some other, the keeps title to. Could be a minute. I don't know how long it'll be here.
Oh, he's town attorney, so the DA. Someone said that, are they really?
No, he's not the ADA or DA. He was on IDA.
Oh, IDA, thank you, yeah. Come back.
I thought it went well.
So in some cases, the FBI can investigate certain criminal acts by elected officials, such as misappropriation of funds, theft. I'm trying to think what else. We've dealt with them before in a town that one of the elected officials was stealing property. Also, there's a town in the town of Avon, New York. The police chief, the town applied for federal grant for a school resource officer. And the police chief doctored the paperwork where he was in the office doing work and sent an underling. And the FBI actually did prosecute those federal charges. And it was only like $6,400. So I mean, there is cases where the FBI has investigated that. Well,
Have your back.
so yeah, the logical conclusion is
Right.
I don't know if they're waiting us out or we're waiting them out, but we're waiting for this meeting to open back up, so.
Yeah, it's almost like.
Nice size town hall.
Yeah.
Oh, huh? Yeah.
What's better, you have? Good, worried. We're still waiting. How long have they been back there? I never know what they're doing back there.
No.
That's like without neighbor.
No.
Back. They're not back. They just took the clerk. I thought they were back, but they weren't.
Register it.
Look at her, his
Guys.
no, he's qualified. And he was on it for quite some time.
Someone said they're back there watching our live chat.
They are probably back there watching the live stream.
They go, oh, they're still there.
Ah, he hasn't left yet.
When you got up and walked away, they probably got excited.
But I know.
The supervisor's window at him. The attorney's like,
I need that. I need the camera. What did you just walk by there? He's gonna come out and do a soliloquy about it. I have a card if you want it. I have a card if you want it. Okay.
Appreciate having people there.
Took a photo, so I got a card if you want one.
took a photo.
Yeah. I got a card.
Yeah, I get it for autographing.
That's large.
I'm sorry. See, already having see.
Water department.
Someone took our photo and offered him a card. He didn't want it, so I thought we take our photo and not want to know who we are unless he's trying to be slightly coy, but it's kind of stupid. You're allowed to be recording in public. We're doing. I don't understand. Who's gonna put us on the internet? Oh no. Took a photo of me and you're gonna put it on the internet? Hope not. What am I doing?
People are standing just waiting for the window.
So you were sauntering around and after you found the room we're in? Yeah. Just there. He's gonna come out and do a soliloquy about how someone took his photo. Someone took his photo.
And so far it's working out very well, so I'm just. Oh, yeah. All my stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any.
It's too much for any file, whatever it is. For most of them, I'm saying, where
She worked here. Just like.
Right. What's right? Yeah, definitely. What are you doing? Oh God.
I won't be able to find anybody different way.
The planning board. That's who took our photo. I don't know he's planning, I know why the planning board took a photo of us. Hang on, bring it in. Guys, the planning board took a photo of us because they're gonna build a statue for us
A statue, guys.
in the town of Scriba. The two sexy independent journalists that came here, they're getting ours,
All that, there's some reasons in the streetway, people,
that's gotta work.
Now.
Gotta be it.
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta be.
If there's any links or following on Facebook yet.
There's a lot of comments. There's a lot of comments.
37 comments on the first post and Scriba's Facebook.
How many?
I don't know. Tar and feather. Animals.
Degenerate.
You degenerates.
Right.
It's a, that's gonna be a sin there.
Yeah.
The towns deserve to limit your property rights.
So this is.
That's not the actual first page.
He sits in my section, you. We always sit in the same section. That's how that works.
I feel like an animal when I got out of here, guys. I'm so hungry. I really thought that it's removed or tried to, the police arrest us. I was ready to go.
No, they allowed
They
it.
allowed us, guys. They allowed us to have.
Jason Casco, their new supervisor, allowed us.
That's
Raced us. His kind, caring soul allows people in the front row to record. He allowed it. Grateful for I gave up caffeine. I got a headache.
I see it hard to keep them. I think Scriba has a Facebook page.
Really?
You know, it's like.
It is okay for the week.
They were all. If that's the way I see
Mm, excuse me.
Facebook page. Looking for them. I think you're only. Yes. They don't have one, they would abuse their authority with that.
I put her down.
I just.
So I put her back.
So.
Just waiting to kick our asses at in the parking lot. Did my dinner this morning. And then you're a liar.
Excuse me.
That for me.
Yeah,
Who gave you that?
from the highway department. In Twain a little bit. Council News really blew it out this.
Bitch ass.
I just Council News made the story out.
We took a little nap over here.
We just can't stop.
That lady was a little, no, she was the director of kindness.
The director.
No. Second part. Don't reiterate it again. This isn't meant.
Oh, Lord.
Is that you're in trouble? That's you're in trouble.
Thanks, guys, for staying. I mean, Mormis has got 300. We got 7 here. It's just, we're waiting them out. We're waiting these people. They think they're gonna come back. We're gonna wait. And I'm gonna ask for a copy of the Tar and Feather phone.
Just created a law that makes it. Anyway, increasing the restrictions on the. What public permits? I failed to see it. I don't see such. I don't see. Right.
It just means. It's got a wide driveway. He's in Hillside. They're all very easy.
3 days.
Well,
Oh, great. Take care.
Like Johnny boy.
Pages.
I'm gonna take a nap on the way home.
You better not. I'll put your seat warmer on and the heat on.
Dude, I'm not, don't. Make me sweat the fat off.
PH.
What did your mom call me? Chunky?
Chunky friends. Look at chunky friends, baby.
I'm voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
It's crazy.
We're still here waiting them out. This is a really important executive session. I prefer fluffy, yeah. And the room. Once it's in the room.
Like panda for gold.
No, for. I'm just waiting for my copy of the Tire and Feathers so I can.
You say kind of.
I'm still people. Drag it down my road.
My mods, no, we don't advertise for Brit. There's First Amendment criminals. Let's go 10 more likes. Let's go. Let's get that at 600 likes. 600 thumbs up for you.
Hey, is this beginning now?
AEC fan. We're with the AEC fan here.
You guys are taking my time out there.
Yeah. We're waiting them out. This is
We still got a 2.5 hour ride home.
we're waiting.
I tried to hold them accountable, and they decided that they would not fuck around and find out today.
I think that they were.
Somebody had to warn them about this coming. Mike Frank said he was coming, man. What happened to Mike Franklin?
Michael,
Michael, where are you? I think you're watching.
I think he's watching.
You're a little bit late.
You're a little bit late.
A little bit late.
Honestly, if you get here now, you could probably make it. There'll still be an executive session. Wait for us to leave. Someone said that they're waiting for us. There's a good chance they might be waiting for us. I don't know why. I think they think we're gonna confront them.
Go take your subscribers to the windows. Like,
I don't know.
Oh, I see that you married.
they never close the meeting. Legally, they gotta close the meeting. I'm gonna make a full video about this, guys. Say, I can't believe that attorney had to take any responsibility for the shit story.
Next time.
There's no service in here.
Just like a bar. Go out in that hallway, you get members in the hallway.
Around by the.
Really doesn't have.
Property. He's not. Paid the bill, I'm gonna say. Just have to go for taxes. I don't know, I haven't done that either. Or just 2 or 3 years. Revert back.
How much does it cost?
Where's that go?
No, I saw. Is there's no entry in exit.
Trying to figure out how it's procedure, how do you make you happy, you happy, how do you make Fred happy about this hill?
Settlers, that's, I know. Like, whatever, and so. Like,
Now media, he's got his own channel.
For real? Oh, yeah, all right, so, that's. Is there? Like everybody's back. Yeah. Check that. So signs up. Good funds.
Joseph.
That is looking really good.
Which one?
This is America, 2026, 2026, and it's obviously pretty new, but like Mel, super chat, I'm very slaughtered like today. Thank you very much.
Let's take it back now.
You can't. Actually, I think you can take super chats back because somebody gave me a super chat on a video and then it just disappeared. It's credit card.
So it's gonna end it with a. Okay, so we grab that.
I'll just look for any bond or bill money today.
No, they
They're
didn't. They're gonna find out.
warned about the fams in town.
Just now. And I mean, you're with. That's really what we do with. And a lot of we. So people are saying that.
That's what I've seen.
Let's get ready to meeting.
We might be back, fam.
Turns. Game. Fight.
I thought they were right back.
Right? They're talking about you, they're gonna need a lot more time than we have available.
We might be back, fam.
We're still.
Stop, never gonna stop.
Yep, yep. It's incredible. They were all.
Maybe coming back, boys.
Heck now was snoring halfway here.
I was sleepy.
He's snoring. I got a dash cam for you guys. Other news, if any of my dash cam winners have are in the chat,
The clerk's back. She thought they were behind her, so we might be back.
the dash cams that everybody won finally are in and they're going to be sending out. They're on back order. I told it was the best dash cam next, they're on back order for like a month.
As long as it's not.
As long as it's not this. I mean, that's a, I guess. It's a big, and it's. Don't. I just did so. This has been this year since the. Last boat, I was like, look, they got up when I got it.
They're not pulled back.
Dash cams finally came in. They're on back order to the 20th. They came in today. Or actually, yesterday they came in 19th, but they will be mailed out to you as 3 grand prize winners. They'll be mailed out to you, but they finally got here. Didn't win the dash cam. You still will not be receiving the dash cam.
We're back.
What is it? Why was it's not the state.
He said, "Us, don't see her."
We have state.
Okay, can I have a motion to exit from executive session? Ready? And, Jamie second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 4-0. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Jamie? Okay.
Guys recording. He's allowed to, because it's allowed in the front row.
One day, I get excited.
Yeah, you want
We get 2?
Yeah.
I just need 1. Thanks, man.
I don't have any questions.
No, we're stuck. I don't
Oh,
this guy. My YouTube channel is auditing Erie County.
thanks, man.
Thanks for coming. It's a long drive.
Yes. Well, I mean, they pretty much put up some fast signal for us to consult. It was slow when they went. We stuff like
So
that,
I-
because at the end of the day.
I have no backseat, so that is.
It's actually also extra repulsive that he went up there and, talked about how sad it was that somebody sent a photo, like he took zero responsibility. The fact that they, the board, caused, provoked someone. The anger, really, what they did, whether what the angry person did was appropriate or not, there should be some responsibility for doing something. I mean, like, if they did what was right, why didn't they kick me out then? They liked it.
Oh, fun. Okay. Oh, yeah, me too.
I didn't see that sign. Shit.
So this is the sign that they have up that audio and video equipment must be set up at the back of the room. Which they really have no standing or ground for sorts like that. Let's see if our attorney from this meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, not tonight.
Might be gone already. Already.
Thank you.
Who, the attorney? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He ran
through the door.
Oh, them in the black truck is fun, right? Piece of musical.
They talked about it for an hour. Correct. Yes.
Oh, executive session, the only way that they have to say what they go on is if they vote on something.
Well, I say what's going on, what they voted on, but if they didn't vote on enough, they don't have to tell us anything. But they physically vote on something. That's what they did. After they come out, so technically, they should have, legally, they did not. Other than discussion.
Yes. I hope he doesn't go on Amazon. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. I don't know. The guy that took our photo, I don't know if he was friendly or not. But all right.
This is my cop chasing car. This is what we chase cops all over the state with.
All right, fam. We didn't get arrested.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, it was
The lawyer
advertising. They were
thought it
willing.
was
They were
Dwayne
willing
and
to-
Dan and said, no.
Picked out last meeting. Yet they'll take zero responsibility for provoking the people, and they want to complain about somebody leaving a picture of tar and feathering. And quite frankly, I think tar and feathering should be legal for oath breaking shit bags, but it's not. It's not illegal. But you know what isn't illegal is leaving a photo of tar and feathering because it's part of our American history of what they did to tax tax collectors and traitors to the country. So I mean it's just part of history. I don't understand. I don't think it's a threat. It seems like history to me, but so
Maybe he was
see you guys
celebrating
at the next one. I got
celebrating the 250 year anniversary of our country.
$65 in super chats. That probably feel like saying keep me there back. You guys pay for the gas. You guys are
All right, I'm gonna go take a nap in the car. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry it wasn't more eventful, but looks like the town of Scriba doesn't
over and
want to find out.
out of here quick.
So we're out.
Attorney.
Take care, guys.